Hello, Hempfield. I'm Tyler Constein.
And I'm Lexi Robinson.
In this month's episode, we will cover topics including Hempfield's annual Dodgeball Tournament, Stage Crew Tech Week, and new middle school television studios.
All this and more in the March edition of Hempfield Happenings. We are so excited to be your host for this month's show.
That's right, Lexi. To begin, on April 8th, there was a partial solar eclipse in Hempfield. The Hempfield Foundation provided solar eclipse glasses for students and staff. Alex Burden explores this grant.
It starts at like 2 and it's going to keep on going probably until like 3:20ish.
Whoa, look at that eclipse up there. But you need a pair of these glasses to see it safely. With the upcoming eclipse on April 8th, those all across the country are going to need an extra set of protection for their eyes. The Orange County Register explains the difference between typical sunglasses and solar eclipse glasses, which are typically 100,000 times darker than regular sunglasses and contain particles to block out UV rays. Because of the safety they provide, Miss Merida at Landisville Middle School got creative with an idea.
I've been teaching about eclipses in every single year of my courses, and I kept on telling the kids, you know, April 8th, 2024, it's going to be up, and it's going to be our next opportunity to see a total solar eclipse. I started pricing it out. I found ones that were deemed safe by NASA, and I sent it their way, and I found some reasonable ones, and that kind of gave them some starting grounds to kind of take a look and see it. Could they find something cheaper or in different levels? And yeah. And I was looking at how many kids are in the district and seeing what that price would cost.
The Hempfield Foundation, a nonprofit organization supporting the district, is sponsoring the grant.
We were thrilled to hear from Mr. Bromersky about the opportunity to help. This is another great example of how Hempfield teachers come up with super ideas. And so it took very little time for us to determine that we'd love to be supportive of this idea. And our board quickly responded to Mr. Bromersky that we'd be happy to be a sponsor of the eclipse glasses for the eclipse coming up in April. We have just over, I think we have 9,100 pairs of glasses to make sure that all students and all staff have a pair. And I think that the total came to somewhere a little over $5,500. So clearly a worthwhile investment for the excitement of the event and making sure that students and teachers and staff can all look safely at the eclipse.
So I put in a grant to ensure every student, teacher, custodian, para, anybody in the schools will get a pair of these. Well, the next one is not till I think 55 years from now. So, you know, for kids, I think it's great that this might be their one time in a lifetime event, that they get a chance to see a total solar eclipse, and they're going to be able to do it safely from their bus, their driveways, their yards, and it's awesome to be in Hempfield School District because it's gonna happen for them.
Although there won't be a total solar eclipse in the Hempfield area, this grant allows students to enjoy the partial solar eclipse from wherever they may be in the district. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Alex Burden.
The best time to see it is like 3:10ish.
Ever since Coach Casey Lear became the swim team coach 3 years ago, we have been sharing his goals for the team on Hempfield Happenings. This year, his goals for the team were reached. Lindsay looked into the team's accomplishments.
Since Coach Casey came onto the team 3 years ago, Hempfield Happenings has looked into his goals. This year, those goals were met, and the team hopes to raise the bar in the coming seasons.
As a team, I wanted us to win sections and leagues, and we fortunately got to do that. And you know, after this, I want my team and I to perform well at districts and hopefully get some relays and some individual events at states.
With multiple swimmers making it through districts, as well as 3 relays placing 22nd, 23rd, and 24th for various strokes at states, Coach Casey Lear shares his perspective on the ability of his team.
So districts coming up, obviously I want to get to states, you know, that's the kind of top level competition. I'd love to see some individual swims at states, some medals, some podium swims at districts. And we're looking really good for that. You know, I think the older I get, the more I can kind of see what's going to happen down the road, and got some strong goals, and I think we got some strong people to meet them. So.
From just 2 years ago, the team has made significant improvements that have allowed them to be so successful.
Well, honestly, with hard work and not mine, you know, theirs. That's what this whole thing's about. And when I came here, I know there were some things we wanted to change, had to change about culture, about how we worked, and they did. And, you know, 2 years later, here we are, both a guys and a girls league title.
While these accomplishments are from the swimmers, Casey has played an enormous role in creating such a strong team.
Casey is easily one of my favorite coaches I've ever had. He increases the morale so much. He makes great practices, and he really shows that like he cares about each individual swimmer. He'll talk to us about, you know, like our events. He'll say like what we did good, what we did bad, and like he's not scared to say, you know, like what he thinks, but he's super nice and very caring, and yeah, he knows what he's talking about, and everyone respects that, and everyone like understands that.
The swim team has come so far from where Casey picked up, and the future is secured through the efforts of both the incredible team and coach. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Lindsay Over.
Hempfield High School held its annual Dodgeball Tournament on February 29th. Grayson Way checks in on the competition.
For the students and teachers here at Hempfield High School, the yearly Dodgeball Tournament is a very important occasion.
I think it shows an awesome showing of school spirit. Of course, it's teachers versus students, which I think is awesome. I think it's cool.
Really connects. It builds a community. There's 19 teams. Do you see the friends we have here, the bond we have?
It was for a good cause to support FBLA and a good time to interact with some classmates.
The FBLA is a student-run business club that profits off of events like this Dodgeball Tournament.
The FBLA Club, again, Future Business Leaders of America, gives students the opportunity to kind of branch out beyond just the regular business curriculum here, get involved in some local business competitions, and also we get the opportunity to bring in some different business speakers.
It's the largest philanthropic organization in the United States. It's student-run. It's really neat for the students to be a part of, and that actually, the money that we raise from this tournament helps to fund that club. We raised a little over $1,000 between sponsorship and entry fees. And again, a lot of enthusiasm, excitement, and energy in the arena, so it was pretty neat to be a part of.
And the competitive spirit was in no short supply.
And we want to show everybody who's the best dodgeball team in the school. You know, this is complete dominance. This is do all, say all. At the end of the day, we're going to come out on top. That means we're the greatest that's ever come through Hempfield.
People obviously took it seriously, those that were playing, but they also smiled and enjoyed their time. And if you looked around that gym, there were no phones out. Like, people were actually engaged. They were talking with each other. They were talking with other people they might not normally talk with on a day-to-day basis.
But whether teams won or lost, just participating in this event was enough contribution, not just to the club, but to the whole school. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Grayson Way.
Three Hempfield students have been selected as Merit finalists for the National Merit Scholarship Program. Tyler Constein interviewed Dr. Brossman to discuss the topic of merits.
Today we are here with Dr. Brossman, the principal of Hempfield High School. We will be discussing the topic of merit and how it relates to raising the bar. First, I would like to ask you, what is raising the bar?
So raising the bar is our theme for Hempfield High School this year. It's you know, we want to get better at everything that we do. So it's our way of encouraging people to get better. We want the staff to get better. We want students to get better. We want to raise the bar, make Hempfield High School better, and that's so we can succeed. And so it's our theme for this year.
What was the reasoning behind choosing Raising the Bar as Hempfield's theme?
So last year we were still coming out of the pandemic and all the restrictions and all those pieces, and last year's theme was moving forward together, because we need to move forward, need to put all that behind us, and so we accomplished that. We moved forward together, we reestablished our traditions, those types of things. So where do we go from there? We got to go up, we got to raise the bar, we got to get better.
How can students continue to raise the bar this year?
Students can raise the bar this year by looking for ways to get better in everything they do personally, and helping us to raise the bar at Hempfield High School by coming up with new ideas, new events. For example, the Student Council brought forth the homecoming parade this fall. Like, that's a great example of raising the bar. Just looking for ways to get better and then executing those ways and actually doing it.
How would you describe a merit? What goes into receiving a merit?
Sure. So National Merit Finalists are the top of the test score earners from the PSAT exam that students take in the fall of their junior year. It's a national recognition by the College Board organization. That's the same group that does AP testing, SAT testing, the PSAT, and those types of courses.
How does receiving a merit relate to raising the bar at Hempfield?
So in raising the bar, we want to get better at everything that we do, right? So our National Merit Finalists have certainly raised the bar for themselves and for Hempfield High School as a whole. It puts us on the map. National Merit Finalists, it's a distinguished award that only the top 1% of students earn, and those students can qualify for scholarships and special recognitions, and it's something that colleges will look at nationwide. So students that have become a National Merit Finalist have certainly raised the bar for themselves and for us.
How rare would you say it is to receive a merit?
So National Merit Finalists are pretty rare. They're the top 1% of scorers on the PSAT. So out of about 1.5 million students that might take the exam each year, only about 15,000 students become National Merit Finalists. So it's rare, it's quite the honor, and it's something to be very proud of.
How frequently do Hempfield students receive merits?
So this year we have 3 National Merit Finalists, and we're very proud of them. In the past, we've typically had 2 or 3, sometimes only 1, sometimes 4 or 5, but you know, it's typically not a very large number.
Well, thank you for coming and talking about merits with us, Dr. Brossman.
You're welcome.
Tech Week can be a very stressful time for students and stage crew. Landis Knoll dives into the ways students manage all the stress.
Stress is something everyone deals with some point in their life. Being a part of stage crew brings stress out in many ways.
This stress can be caused by a number of factors from the week.
Tech Week is a week that allows us to all come together as a group. We all spend months separated from each other with only a few meetings here and there to talk about the producers talking about what we look for in the show. Outside of that, we never see each other as a group. The kids from the pit don't see the kids from the crew doesn't see the cast until Tech Week. So it's time for us to all come together and learn what each other's roles are before we go and put the show on in front of a live audience.
Tech Week is the week preceding the musical, which is the first time that the pit orchestra, the cast, and the crew are all working on runs together. And it's when crew especially learns what we have to do in terms of moving around curtains or moving around hanging props or moving around set pieces.
With a great production comes a lot of worry and focus.
Tech Week can be stressful because there's a lot going on. It's long hours and there's a lot of things that can go into it and be a little confusing at times.
Can we hold, please? Can we hold?
Mostly it's the amount of time invested. For Tech Week, it's standard to be about 12 hours on Saturday, about 8 hours on Sunday, and then 5 hours every school day. So if you happen to have something like homework, and you also have to be at school for 5 hours after school, it can be a little bit tough to manage everything.
Even with a lot of stress, stage crew is able to find ways to deal with the pressure.
Flex periods are very helpful in that you can obviously use them to study. Overall, as crew, it gets a lot less stressful because crew has such a camaraderie that it's more like hanging out with friends and less like doing a lot of work.
Connecting with your crew members and with other people in it and just being with good people and having fun.
While Tech Week is a stressful time for students and stage crew, there are many ways for students to cope through the long week. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Landis Knoll.
Landisville Intermediate Center hosted an idiom festival in order to provide the students with a more unique way to learn. Emma Spiker explored the event in further detail.
Hi, my name is Madison, and my idiom is come rain or shine.
For some students, February 23rd is just another day in the classroom, but for the 4th grade class at LIC, it was a day of fun, unique learning.
We have an idiom festival every single year with 4th grade. We like to incorporate it because we talk a lot about figurative language, and an idiom is something that at times can be pretty difficult for them to understand.
The idiom festival is when you pick like an idiom, and it could be like, it's raining cats and dogs, and then you have to say what like the figurative meaning is. So if you would pick it's raining cats and dogs, it would mean like it's raining really hard.
A lot of work is completed to prepare for this special day.
Each 4th grade, they bring in their costumes, and we get them prepared. They get all ready. We take a good half an hour just to get all dressed up, and we also practice in class so that they're ready and prepared for when we do the festival. So most of it is done at home as far as costume, but in class we really practice a difference of the literal meaning versus the figurative.
So we got some supplies, and my mom and me made a really fun, big costume, and I wore a whole pink outfit. And it means unlocking another person's heart emotionally.
Parents were invited to attend the event to support their kids. For some students, this can be nerve-wracking.
This is going to be really scary because I'm in front of a bunch of parents and kids, and I might, if I say the wrong thing, I'm going to get embarrassed.
But for others, it wasn't as scary as they thought.
You think it would be scary, but then when you get up there, it's not as bad as you think it would be.
But when you actually go up there, and it's really fun, and then all the kids, and they're applauding, and it makes you feel good inside.
Rather than support from the parents, there were other ways to motivate the students.
We had the students vote, and the teachers get to pick the most colorful, the most creative, the most unique, so they get really excited about that. We gave out prizes for those things as well.
It was like a Hershey cup and with a bunch of Hershey chocolate in it.
This event not only allowed students to expand their knowledge, but also to explore and experiment with creativity. According to linearity.io, creative classroom activities keep students engaged and help to increase their problem-solving skills. Very creative with it. Some of these costumes this year I was shocked at, and they were interactive and fun, and it makes learning fun for them. This 4th grade class hit the books in order to make this event a success. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Emma Spiker.
Our idiom is 2 peas in a pod. 2 peas in a pod means someone or something that looks the same.
Mountville Elementary School hosted Warm Up with a Good Book Day. Landis Knoll discovers more about this event.
Is that okay?
Mountville Elementary is one of many schools at Hempfield that provide reading events to Title I students.
So Title I students are students that need a little extra reading support, and during the school year we offer many Title I events, and this is just one of those events that we offer for students and their families to enjoy the love of reading.
But there is more to this event than just reading books.
So not only do they get to engage in a read aloud with a reading teacher here at this event, they also get to bring their families. So what it really benefits is the parents. They get to hear what read alouds sound like, that hopefully that transfers when they're reading aloud at home with their child, and also the students all get to leave with a free book.
Along with reading, students can drink hot chocolate, color, and more.
Cuddle up and read.
Is that okay?
Students aren't the only ones who look forward to the event.
So I love to do read alouds with children. I always have. It's one of my favorite parts about being a teacher. I also love sharing my love of reading with kids, and this is the perfect event for that.
Warm Up with a Good Book is a great way for students, parents, and teachers to relax and read during the cold months. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Landis Knoll.
Centerville Middle School and Lansfield Middle School upgraded their television studios. Charlotte Robards and Mike Schaefer investigated these changes.
Who else has interest? Sailor, I know you want to do audio some days.
I'll do like audio, graphics, preferably not.
WCMS and WLMS is what helps prepare the students at the middle schools for the CommTech programs up at the high school.
WCMS is a group of students who put on a daily announcement show that is live every morning at Centerville Middle School. These students do what a daily news show does on a smaller scale.
Well, in Flex we have to write a script, we have to get all that figured out, we have to do the graphics, so like change the date, change the lunch, and then really we just put the teleprompters up on the camera screens, and then we start the cameras, go live, and anchors just do their job.
I don't know, I've always been interested in news broadcasts from when I was younger, and I always like being on screen, so it's kind of fun to do it.
These young journalists get to learn about different news equipment, like cameras, TriCasters, teleprompters, and microphones.
Normally Mrs. Hill, it's her first year doing WCMS as well, so we're kind of learning together. So she knows how to do the basics of everything, and then we just kind of learn how to progress from the basics and learn different things from it.
But students also learn soft skills from being in such a collaborative environment.
My favorite part is definitely being able to work as a team with everybody, and then also I really do enjoy writing the script for the next morning.
WLMS is the daily announcement program at Landisville Middle School. Savannah Miller, a CommTech 7 student at Hempfield High School, believes her time in the program benefited her.
Yeah, WLMS was something that I wasn't super sure what it was, but it was a really cool community to build, because that was a whole different group of people I wasn't really friends with before, except for one person, and it was a new group of friends to wake up every morning and get to go see. I'd wake up in the morning and go, I get to go to WLMS today. It just really made my morning.
Students in past and present years agree on what makes the program so special.
Probably the people. They're super nice and really fun to hang out with.
The people and doing the jobs and getting a new experience.
After middle school, students get to widen their skills and opportunities in communication technologies in the CommTech programs up at the high school.
CommTech 2 is a lot like what WLMS was, especially just off of all the jobs that you do. There's more complexity to it, but it's the same idea of needing to get a show done and complete and get all the information. I've gotten a lot more communication skills, just being able to work better with other people, especially people that I don't know very well.
News, even at the level of school announcement shows, is important to communities, and students who become involved with it learn skills they will keep for a lifetime.
For Hempfield Happenings,
I'm Charlotte Robards.
And we're WCMS.
Can you go to the script?
Signing off with WLMS TV, reminding you that the choices you make today will shape your world tomorrow.
Landisville Middle School has recently gotten a much-needed upgrade in their TV studio.
These improvements aren't something the class takes for granted because it's been a long time coming.
So we've been running with the same TV studio since I started back in 2003. About 7 years in, we received some hand-me-downs from WHHS, which carried us along to where we are now, but the software was really outdated and it was a struggle to get a good live production.
Though WLMS has been presenting the news for many years, it hasn't always been as easy as it is now.
So the new equipment, especially with the new space, just makes it much more enjoyable. We have a control room, we have a live production room, which allows us to work cohesively instead of a small closet that we were in before. With the audio equipment, we could not hear the production being live, so we didn't know if there was an ad playing in the background. We didn't know if the announcers were speaking clearly, and I would have to stand in the hallway and listen to it live. So now with this control room, we have brand new speakers, we have brand new TVs, brand new monitors that allow us to see the production in full effect.
This new equipment was very necessary if WLMS wanted to make a better show. But what are these new pieces of equipment that will help them succeed in this?
So the new equipment, trying to go through the list. We got a new Blackmagic switcher, which is amazing, so smooth. We got a brand new TriCaster. We got a brand new teleprompter for the green screen, which we never had before. We literally had to write on a sheet of paper. And then we got 2 new cameras and security camera in the studio and 2 new speakers as well.
I have been using it for a while. I haven't used all this stuff yet, but so far what I've used I've really liked. Personally, I really like the cameras because we didn't have them before, and I think it's really cool to be able to communicate directly with the TriCaster and be able to kind of be in charge of making sure that everything's center.
I'm really excited. This studio is all the new equipment that we get is really great, and it's brand new, and the older stuff was years old, so not
working as well as this stuff is.
With all this new equipment, the students can learn, create, and experience more things that they couldn't before.
Just the overall aesthetics of it, the appearance. The first day that we went live, I was getting text message, emails saying how great the new studio was working out, and the ability to play videos that we didn't have before as well will now allow our students to go out and create videos on their own and then go back and play them live, which we were struggling to do in the prior years.
One of my favorite things is we have the little corner cam up now in the corner of the studio, and now we can start and end the show with like a little behind the scenes shot.
We can start in the corner camera, and we also were like able to arrange like how we showed the show differently now, how we start it and how it looks when we record it.
These improvements could just be the thing to attract more students into their show and grow this program into something greater. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Mike Schaefer.
Now it's time for Hempfield Highlights. Hempfield High School's annual musical took place with this year's show of Fiddler on the Roof. Students successfully performed this early 1900s musical after many countless hours of practice and perfection. Landisville Middle School and Centerville Middle School joined together to perform Into the Woods Jr., a story about a baker and his wife who go on to a quest to reverse a curse. The show was a success for all students involved. As Tyler Constein reported earlier, Hempfield has 3 students nominated as finalists for the National Merit Scholarship. The finalists are Zeke Stevens, Jude Giordano, and Sonia Data. Congratulations, Zeke, Jude, and Sonia. Hempfield musicians Andre Hurst, Everett Roy, Vaughn Eckert, and Carter Gingrich participated in the PMEA Region 5 Honor Band. While at the festival, the students auditioned for All-State Band. Seniors Andre Hurst and Everett Roy were selected to the 2024 PMEA All-State Concert Band. Congrats to all! This year's Math Counts competition was comprised of 20 schools with a total of 155 students competing. Hempfield's Navaneeth Khandra placed 9th in the individual round. Also, Navaneeth Khandra, Rosie Smith, Shrey Patel, and Katie Fisk placed 5th in the team round. Seamus and Hattie Mack won both state medals in wrestling, becoming the first brother-sister duo in Pennsylvania state history to do so. Congrats to both Seamus and Hattie for their accomplishments.
That's all for this month, Hempfield.
Thank you so much for watching.
For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Tyler Constein.
And I'm Lexi Robinson.